do that every year. I actually do a tribute to Big. You go on my Facebook, go on my Instagram. You always see me do a tribute to Big. Big shout out to him. I got a chance to actually meet Biggie Smalls in Raleigh, North Carolina, back when I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina. One of the opportunities that I got to work with certain artists out in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, along with Tupac. So I always have a different side of the story when it comes to that whole East Coast, West Coast beef, how, Biggie and Pop was actually at each other's threats. I got a totally different story because my side of the story is totally different. Them brothers was actually good friends. They was actually comrades in the industry. The industry tore them apart, put them against each other, and that's my side of the story. Because I can see it differently, because I was actually there and had the opportunity to meet both of them individuals. Big shout out to Easy Mo B also. Big shout out to Easy Mo B. Because without Easy Mo B, I would have never had that opportunity to actually meet Biggie and Pop, both of them. So that's, one of my stories I always like to share every year. But we in the building tonight, man. I don't want to get anybody, too restless. That 6 o'clock traffic jam is supposed to keep us on our toes. Big shout out to everybody that's in the building tonight. And I want to start off with our phenomenal guest tonight. Round of applause for Sally Bay. Round of applause for him tonight in the building. I know everybody in the chat room watching tonight. Everybody in the chat room watching tonight. So I got a chance to go a little bit deeper because the last time we actually came in contact with each other was the Unity and Community event last summer, and we just briefly moved across each other because he was performing, I was DJing that day, but I could tell just by your greeting when you came in the park, just by your energy and your greeting when you came in the park, I was like, that's one of my brothers, So when I walked past you, when we greeted each other, I greeted you with the words of peace because I felt like you had that energy, and lo and behold, you are one of my brothers, yes. from our native North American and Moorish descent, and I appreciate that as well. Also originally from Queens, New York too, right?
Yeah.
I can shout that and say that with a big applause right there. Queens in the building, real heavy Queens tonight. Don't get jealous. Harlem, we're gonna let y'all finish. Harlem BX, we're gonna let y'all finish. Manhattan, don't worry, I know it's 5 boroughs, but tonight we concentrating on Queens for just a little bit, okay, if y'all don't mind. I just paid homage to Big, so 718. But right now, at this time, like I said, we talking about Sally. So born and raised in Queens, New York. What part of Queens? Is that South Side Jamaica?
Yeah, born and raised in South Jamaica, Queens.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. So the good question would be, which high school did you go to?
Oh wow, I went to Bayside, so I didn't go into any high school.
You didn't get a chance to experience the entire Beast Mode because Bayside was still rough.
Yeah.
Y'all still had Boom Bash on that side. Y'all had a few Decepticons at Bayside. Mm-hmm. But you played ball? Did you play ball?
No.
Nah? Okay. All right. So you still was good though. You was good.
Mm-hmm.
Handball courts and all that. Bayside had the good handball courts. That's probably how you learn how to speak Spanish too, right?
Who said I speak Spanish?
Let me just say this. He was always good no matter where he went.
Right, that's true. That's true. That's definitely true. Because you could tell, I think me and TV was talking about that last week. We was talking about how you could go somewhere in any city and with your energy being a certain type of way, your frequency being a certain type of way, it's always,
And look here, he the only brother I know that can go down to Myrtle Beach, jump on the hood of somebody's car, dance on the hood and the roof, and we all came back, and they gave him nothing but love after he done stomped the man's car out. You know what I mean?
But he does have. I know when I did meet the brother, he did have kind of a southern swag. I would say that. Did you have some family members in South Carolina, North Carolina? Something like that.
Well, my family is originally from Georgia and North Carolina, but that's through my travels and in and out of state. So you gravitate to where you at. Shout out to Maryland, Baltimore, West Virginia, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's about eight. That's about 8 states. 8 states.
Yeah, the culture, hip hop culture is still the culture. So everywhere you go, you're gonna catch a little colloquialism. You know what I'm saying? And they just pour in, especially being an artist. So writing, I like, we always the ones that's looking at what's going on. And you pick up on some things. So I know I got a southern twang. I got a little twang with me. So.
Yeah. No, and even the hospitality, like I said, because most rappers, I can say rappers, or even for that matter, entertainers, when you in your mode or you in your zone, you don't really have time to concentrate on other individuals that's around you. And like I said, the admonishment that I got that day, you actually took time out to say, yo, peace, my brother. And that to me was enough right there to let me know that we had a common denominator. So real quick, let's introduce yourself to everybody that's watching tonight. Because I know they've seen you here on Genesis before, but this is a whole nother thing here.
Right. All right, Sally Bay, you can catch me on IG, More to Life. That's MOOR, 2 LIFE. Introducing myself. I own a company, production company. We're working. Some dope artists I'm working with, executive producing a couple of projects. We just released a record, I think, last Sunday that will be on a police brutality documentary. So it hit at the right time. Dope artists on there. Shout out to Mad Villain. Can we get some applause for that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, no doubt.
Thank you. Appreciate you for that. Yeah. Shout out DJ Strategy, man. I was trying to get up here for a while, man. This guy is working.
I'm trying my best. I'm doing my best to make sure that I get everybody in and keep everybody in the loop. Like I said, it was a couple of times that we was trying to link up to get you to come to the show, but I know you had some performances.
Yeah.
You move at a super terrific speed. It's like superheroes trying to catch superheroes.
Yeah, man. I performed last night in Long Island.
Nice.
And then came here for this interview, and I'm headed to Maryland to record. So I'm just grateful to be able to do something that I love. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
make it look so effortless. Make it look so effortless. Because I guess when I got the opportunity to actually see you perform some of the joints, because like I said, God comes in the building, white jean suit on, super duper flashy. You could see the lights flashing off of him and everything. You could tell he a star.
Shout out to Amaj Fashion.
Yes. Tell he a star as soon as he walk on the stage. And then the content comes out. So, with content being content, some of your influences in the hip-hop industry, like just to name a few, I know being from Queens, I know LL got to be one of them.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah. LL got to be at least one of them.
LL, Run DMC, Onyx. Wow. The list goes on. Just the culture, even up to today, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a dope experience. We in that 50-year anniversary thing, so it's just an experience, bro. Like I'm enjoying the ride. I didn't think that I would. I got back into the music probably like 2 years ago, and it's like I didn't expect to be embraced like I'm being embraced. So it's kind of dope.
11. We right in the middle of an interview right now. We on the air right now with UTSL Network. Give me a couple of seconds. I'm gonna hit you right back. Okay, 11. All right. This is one of our sponsors for the showcase that we got coming out for Expression Studio. That's actually Dana Dane's nephew, 11.
Nice.
He's calling me right now, so I had to get that real quick. But segue into that because I wanted to really brag tonight about Queens. I really wanted to brag tonight about Queens, and I wanted to talk about that when I, from the aspect of LL being that core person in Queens that we look back to, even in the 50 years of hip hop. I don't think personally, and this is just my personal opinion, Sully. I don't think that Queens gets enough recognition when it comes to hip hop. And I had a discussion with somebody the other day. We was talking about 50 Cent. Okay, whatever 50 Cent, whatever perception you may have of him, power, whatever. Okay. I think the reason why 50 Cent never got his credentials and never got crowned the King of New York, was because Dr. Dre did his beats.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
That merger with Shady and Dre, it kind of shifted him. He got the country twang too, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I mean, 50 put on for the town. I mean, he's highly influential. He just, you can't see further than the giant unless you're on his shoulders. So, from humble beginnings, I mean, you just think about it. His first album, he went diamond. So he caught a nice wave. So, that's definitely one of the guys. New York rappers, one thing about it, we was talking about that the other day, man. As a matter of fact, I was on a podcast. Shout out to Shine, them over there. No Idea Original. I had an interview with them last week. We was talking about Queens rappers. We especially in the era I came up in, artists didn't want to sound alike. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to sound like somebody else. Because that's gonna get you benched for real.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you jogging somebody else's style. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's one thing about Queens. I don't know. I mean, we the pioneers for real.
And then if you
Russell from Queens,
right.
Let's do that.
And then if you go to Russ, you go to Russell, you go to Run DMC, you go to Jam Master Jay, you go to Mr. Cheeks.
Yeah, shout out Cheeks.
Go to Grandmaster Vic. You go to DJ Kid Flash. You go to
DJ Divine.
Wow.
You go
Michael Goody.
Right. You go to the Disco Twins. You go to DJ Smalls. You go through that whole lineage of Queens, because my side of Queens is I was actually born in Astoria Projects.
Okay.
But I was raised in Far Rockaway.
Right.
So my summers I was basically on the beach during the summertime. Sweet. And during school time I was in Astoria. But just to have Super Lover C, Casanova Rudd, Miss Jones, shout out to my brother T Spunk, the list just goes on. And coming from Queens, did that make you feel like as an artist that you had to be on a whole nother wave or whole nother wavelength when it came to your artistry? Because you said no.
All of those names, right. All of those names that you just dropped, right? I remember them vivid. You know what I'm saying? But when you living in it, you just living within the culture, just mentioning the DJ Twins is word. I know them dudes. All the names that you drop, you just do you. You know what I mean? You gotta have the 5 elements and whatever. People think that artists are actually creating this stuff. We're just the conduit, for expression. So it's I'm painting a picture. I got this dope record that I'm working on right now called New Days. I just like creating, bro. That's it. And then having that flag on my back, being a Moor, being a native to this land, it gave me a different outlook. So that bait, is different. It stands for something. And at first when I started, I couldn't I didn't know after my studies how I would be able to put it on record. But through the last 2 years, there's a lot of abstract going on. I'll drop some jewels here and there. Dope projects. I'm into the artist development situation, so I like to give artists the opportunity to actually learn. I've been doing this for a very long time.
Well, you look super young, so I'm getting ready to ask. I was getting ready to ask, wow. I'll ask him right now. I was getting ready to ask him, how old are you? How old are you actually?
I'm 47, so hip hop was only around for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually one of those babies. But you had a chance. At 47, you had a chance to sit next to some of the legends. So that's where you can see the that's where you can see the density in the. Who knew? You know what I mean? Right. Who knew? We would be doing shows, and I remember being at I think her name is Davis, Marie Davis. We was there for DJ Rudd. DJ Rudd was performing, and it's the same night Jay was performing. Maria Davis. Yeah. And we was the same night that Rudd was performing, Jay was performing, and then you hear it on his first album, that's where he was at. Who said that in the crowd? And we was the ones in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of history. Like you mentioned, Pac. Yeah, I get a whole different take on that too. I moved around on the Pac side more than the big side, though. Right.
Right.
You know, shout out to E-Money Bags.
Yeah, that was my side too. That was stretching and all those cats from that side.
Yeah. I was more on that end. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't get a chance to meet them, like I said, until North Carolina and that entirety in the entertainment world. But as far as the other side, I was already on that. I was already outside. Just put it that way.
You know, TP mentioned earlier, right? He said I was standing on the card. Like, it's weird, like how I meet people, because I come off first. Back then, I would say back then, right? Like Stretch. We just had a boat ride, right? We came off the boat ride, and I'm over there by the White Castles in Springfield, and his girl walks in, right? And I'm like, damn, shorty, you know, I'm looking, and he walks in, and he like, what's up, young blood? Like, I'm looking at him, I'm like, what's up? And Rudd comes in and he's like, yo, you know who that is? Stretch. So once I hear that it's Stretch, it's like, I'm a Tupac fan.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like pain. I can sit here and spit the whole verse for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, pay homage. I paid homage to him. We got introduced to each other, and it was just, after that, it was just like some history there, you know. But that's been my walk. Standing on that car, the hood of that car in North Carolina, that was Myrtle Beach.
South Carolina.
Myrtle Beach. I just was, you know, the natives.
Right.
They was outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm letting them know, like, yo, we about to turn this up in here. You know what I mean? We gonna give you our show. You know what I'm saying? And they showed us a lot of love that night. So. And
I like the way that you mentioned that, because I know me, like, for years I had the idea of my heritage and my culture, but I just actually got the chance to claim my nationality.
Right.
I'm kind of getting chills saying it. You know, it's for me, it's a different walk because of me getting a chance to be reintroduced to my family.
Right.
You know, and my lineage.
And we dropped the record, that record Sunday. It's called Black Rage. It's on all streaming platforms.
We got it. But
we got it. You know, the reason for the record, you know, is just like what you're saying. You getting chills. We're talking about, you know, because you came back home. You understand? So you released that Black Rage.
Right.
It's released from you. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of the Black Rage was only because of white supremacy and what they was going on, and they keep control, like trying to make that the narrative. Once a month, they're giving us, like, let's push that back, because the brothers that pushed, you know, African American and said black, those brothers was selling us back into slavery. No disrespect to what they did.
Right.
Yet, I mean, when you come back home and you claim your nationality, you understand it is a whole different thing out here. I'm passionate about that.
Yes, absolutely. And just knowing that, because I started off, as far as my schooling and everything, my tutelage was concerned, it started off in the streets with the 5% Nation and, you know, the Nation of Gods and Earths, but it went into the household because my stepfather was a member of the Nation of Islam. So see the two, there was like two different polarities, and then my mom's
still Islam,
and then my mom's right, it's still Islam, but that perspective that it had didn't. I don't know if it had the same tinge or if it had, and then my mom's was a Christian, but she was from the Abyssinian side of Christianity, so she was tied into the culture. She knew about Taínos, she knew about Blackfoot, she knew about Puerto Ricans, she knew about that whole Cuban, that whole thing, but she didn't express it from a Hispanic side of things. She more expressed it from a religious side of things.
Right.
So when Pops came into the crib, he kind of expounded upon it and went a little bit deeper. And when he got into the English C lesson and he started talking about the total population of the planet Earth being 2 million Indians with 17 million originals, making it 19 million, or all over the planet Earth, 4,400,000,000 in totality of the population. I wondered why they separated the 2 million from the 17. And then as I got deeper into science, and, you know, big shout out to my cousin Keith Drake for giving me a Circle 7 and those decimal crypts. And I didn't even know that was my cousin. Didn't even know it was my cousin until we came out. But giving me a Circle 7 and giving me an opportunity to go further into the higher science. And then I realized it. I said, wait a minute. So, and you mean to tell me that there was 2 million people already here who already existed. Wait a minute. Okay, so
Right.
all right. Oh, wait. So that means that all these people, all these people didn't come across on a slave ship.
Right.
Some of these people were actually here. The Tainos were here. The Indian, the Cherokee Indians, they were here. The Blackfoot Indians, they were here. And because of the separation and the indoctrination and education that we get, we are actually up to this point now, where us as, like I said with Ray, when I was telling Ray, Rob, even his name itself, his name is Raheem. It's Raheem or it's Raheem?
Rashawn.
Rashawn. That's even, what I'm saying, coming from his perspective, being from Queens also, and his name being named Rashawn. So somebody around him within that circle had some type of knowledge to name him after a king.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So coming across to that perspective, like you said with Black Rage, because I got a chance to listen to it, and that's a good segue into the song. When you came into the knowledge of who you were, like you said, that rage left you, and it kind of got away. You were able to release that tension.
I call it aura shedding.
Right.
Saying?
Or like a I wouldn't say reptile, but like a reptile shedding his skin and renewing his history.
Right.
Okay. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into Black Rage. Let's get into that real quick. We're gonna come back in a couple of seconds, man. I got one of the most. I got Sally Bay right here. Y'all, I don't think y'all know what time it is. We do have. I can't forget the social vibes people here. I gotta make sure we tap in with them. Don't worry, y'all not going nowhere. We're gonna come back in a couple of seconds. Let's get into that Black Rage right now. You want to go ahead and introduce that real quick?
This is Black Rage. Sally Bay, Mad Villain the Worst. You now rocking with Gynesis Radio.
Yeah, and this is a world premiere too. This is like a world premiere because nobody else got this right here.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a world premiere. I like that. I like when I get the exclusive joints. TP, you stay hooking me up.
I'm gonna keep them coming.
Yes, absolutely. Let's get into it.
Matter of fact, that's Cakewalk. You playing the wrong record. You playing the wrong record. That's an exclusive.
Cakewalk is exclusive. Let me see. Got all three of them. Let's go to Ben Soha. Go for that. And we got too much volume too. Sound good.
Yeah. I was about to say, turn it down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pull that volume down.
What is that?
Yeah, it's not. Come on. There you go.
I guess that this is not to live the life.
Everything and everything under the sun, moon and stars is ours to explore. Love from land, air, and water. It's the laws of our nature of being free. Causal effect, cakewalk with me. La la la. I said la la la.
So tell me how you really love me. I can tell how much you really trust me. I got you beautiful, feeling like you don't know like exist. Your Cosmo, here's my wish. Can I have this love forever? I will watch by every dish you ever served to me. It's all your actions and your words for me. It's kind of different. Can we change positions like you in detention now? Can't wait for the days we get the ball. Can't wait for the days we hit them all. I know that's it, that's all. You know I work so we can sit with stars. In fact, I'm one of those, so please get comfortable. We finna take this ride.
Like la 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 la. When you and I verse, we create galaxies. So follow me, I'll take the lead. They got in life that's in between your eyes that shine like a diamond. There's no roughage with me. With me. One step forward for humanity. 2 steps back unveils the vanity. Deep inhalations of that prana. Man, some moves of persona. La 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 la. La 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 la. So lady, won't you come cakewalk with me? Wishful thinking for the hopeful. You found your way to my heart through these soulful tunes. Adjacent to the soulful our ancestors consume. Shooting stars to Jumua. Mahmoud to the luau cinders of the world that evolved into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's. My bars are like sky hooks. You see there's magic within my rhyme book. The revolution will be televised. So lights, camera, action, people. It's almost showtime. You dig? Like la 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 la. Say la 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 la. And
That should be black.
I don't need to have a cape on. It's a cakewalk. It's their fault if they don't see me clearly.
Check it out.
Just
Yeah, they all coming out. All them coming out the same way. I got Been So High, I got Black Rage, and I got Cakewalk, but all of them is coming out the same way.
It's only playing that record though.
Mm-hmm. That's all it's playing. And all these like 3 different types.
Well, play something else, man, because
Yeah, I
that's
got you.
you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if this is the third joint. Yeah, it's just showing all 3 of those. Hold on, I got you. Let's go to something else real quick. Let me find this one.
Do you think it's the Fouls?
Yeah, I think it's the Fouls.
It's crazy.
Because when they send them over, they came through MP3, but they all came through together, I guess. Because all of them is playing the same. All of them is playing Cakewalk. None of them is playing Black
Yeah,
Rage.
that's crazy.
I don't know how that happened. Because they all came individually.
Right.
I downloaded them individually. I still got them here. I don't know how that happened.